Good morning. So let's find a seat that's comfortable. If you want to be lying down, that's okay. I always start however feels good. Cross-legged position if that feels good. And again, I always like to remind you, you can sit on a block or a cushion to raise yourself up a little bit. If you're feeling tight in your hips, if your low back feels like it's beginning to crunch or compress, that height gives us that extra length in the spine and brings the hips a little forward. So it's nice and safe on our backs. Okay. So again, welcome to Mindful Yoga. Get nice and comfortable, sit up tall. And I just want to remind everybody that we've so far learned that what yoga really is. It's our ability to expand our capacity to relax with what is. And that can be very challenging, but we've learned that by focusing on sensations and breath in the body, we're coming into the present moment because those are happening right now. So we're learning tools to align with the present moment. Now is the only place where we can truly find fulfillment. So if we're not in the present moment, we can't be truly experiencing what's present. We're lost in other things. Our mind is wandering here and there. So we want to be, when we're lost in the totality of the moment, we're spontaneously fulfilled and automatically content. So that's what we're working towards. Throughout all our poses, we're continually coming back to a calm, peaceful place. Stay relaxed and remember who we are, connecting with our true selves. So let's close the eyes. Allow yourself to begin to breathe, just a natural breath. And just connecting right here with the body. Relaxing as much as you can. Letting the body be just heavy into your seat. So you're sinking down, at the same time lengthening up away from that nice strong base. The shoulders are back and down, shoulder blades slightly coming towards each other. Notice if the chin is forward, maybe press your fingers onto your chin, bringing the chin back. So we're aligning our joints with the ears over the shoulders, shoulders above the hips. And we're breathing in our natural breath, but gradually letting it get deeper. So we're taking deep breaths and elongating the exhalations, emptying out. And just focusing on the expansion as you inhale and the release and softening on the exhales. You can add your Ujjayi breath if that feels right. Contracting the throat just a little bit, slowing the breath even more. And as you sit here and breathe and feel the body relax, just notice what's happening, the shift, the change from thinking and doing to feeling and being. Beginning to align with this present moment, with the now. And lifting the hands off the thighs, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Please join me as we chant one sound of Om, inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully, letting out all that breath. Feel the navel pulling back into the spine. And taking another deep breath in. And letting your eyes begin to open slowly. Lower your hands to your thighs. And let's just begin by doing some torso circles. So starting slow with an in-breath and exhaling, just shifting the torso right, circling forward, and exhaling left and back. So as you move, you can slowly get larger with the circles, only to where it feels right. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. No need to rush. You might even want to notice if you are rushing. And just see if you can slow it down with that breath. And then taking a pause wherever you are, let's go the other direction. Inhaling, exhaling. Just feeling the sensations in your spine, not pushing through anything that's restricting, just finding that edge. And that's why we go slow, so we can find the edge. Good, and then coming to a neutral position. Let's keeping our hands on the thighs, take a breath in, sit tall. And let's exhale, reach the left shoulder towards the right knee. Inhale, coming up. And again, it's slow as we exhale, reaching that right shoulder towards the left knee. We're waking up the body, so we don't want to force anything. Inhaling up. And exhaling the other way. Inhale up. And exhale, right shoulder towards left knee. And now let's reach the right arm all the way to the right. So lengthening, as we keep the sits bones grounded, we're lengthening through the spine, reaching through those right fingers. Maybe gazing at the fingers now. We're going to inhale, reach the fingers up and over in an arc. And then bringing that arm all the way back. And then we're going to flex the wrist so the fingers are pointing back. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale fully. And inhale, bring that arm back up and over and reaching again towards the left. And then coming up, placing that right hand on the right thigh. And exhale that left shoulder once more towards the right knee. And now reaching the left arm forward. Grounding the sits bones. Reach, reach, reach. And gazing at the fingers again, inhale, reach that arm up and over and all the way back. And once more, flexing the wrist so the fingers are pointing back. Feel the stretch through the arm. Relax your bodies, take another breath. Exhaling all that breath out. And inhale, reach that arm back up. And exhale, once more, reaching right. And inhale, coming right back up to center. And relax. Good. So let's make our way onto our backs. Have your blocks handy. We're going to focus on back bends today, which can sometimes be a little scary, but we're going to make them very accessible, very simple back bends. We're going to do back bends lying on our back, on our hands and knees, and standing. So resting here, just bend your knees and bring the feet to the outsides of the mat and just let the knees fall in towards each other. And just allow the body to relax here. And just check in with yourself. What's happening for you today? The body, how it's feeling, thoughts, emotions. Letting the breath just flow freely. And now we're going to shift the breath just a little bit. We're going to take a deep breath in and let the exhalation be long and steady and smooth. And you'll feel that connection with your core. The belly comes in and feel the pelvic floor muscles naturally pulling up just a little bit. And then we'll exaggerate that, taking another deep breath in, filling the belly. Exhaling completely, navel pulling in, pelvic floor lifting. And just feeling the expansion of the inhalations and the emptying out. Navel in, pelvic floor contracting, reaching those deep core muscles which we need for strength and balance. 2 more breaths. Nice, long, slow breaths. Deep, long exhalations. And when you've completed 2 breaths, walk the feet a little closer together, about hip width apart. Knees also hip width apart, preparing for bridge pose. So bring the arms alongside your body. Tuck your chin just a little bit. And again, we're going to take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Feel the navel pulling in, the pelvic floor lifting, the tail curls under, and we lift the hips up. And inhale, go ahead and lower down. Again, exhaling, drawing the navel in, pelvic floor lifting, tail curls under, and we lift up. And inhale, lower down. It might feel as though the knees are coming apart or coming in, so you can either place a block between your thighs or imagine the block there and squeeze that. Again, exhaling, lifting the tail up. And this time holding, however high you are, that feels comfortable. You can also rock from side to side, bringing the arms underneath you, only if that feels right. The shoulder blades coming up towards each other. Again, squeezing that block or imagining squeezing that block. If the knees start coming apart, press more into the insides of the heels. Pressing balls of the feet down and away, lifting the hips as high as feels comfortable, and engaging pressure into the upper arms as well to lift the chest a little bit higher. This is a back bend. So you're finding what feels right for you. Take 2 more deep breaths. Again, if that's too many, just 1, or come out as you need to. We're releasing struggle, remembering our intention. And when you're ready, inhaling and slowly release the arms from underneath you if they're there, and lowering the body back down. Let's tuck the knees into the chest. And it might feel good to circle the knees. You can circle the knees by separating the knees out and in, or keeping the knees together, or massaging the low back with circles. Whatever feels right. Whatever way you're circling, go the other direction. Good. And then lower the feet back down to the mat. Take a breath and relax. We're going to keep the right foot on the mat, and we're going to lift up the left foot and interlace your fingers behind the thigh. So we're going to take a breath in and straighten the leg as best you can. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. We're going to do that again, slowly finding that edge of stretch and straighten. 1 more time, bend. And this time we're going to hold for just a little bit. So straighten that leg as best you can. Keep the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And as you exhale, maybe drawing that thigh a little closer in towards the body. It helps to press a little bit into the right foot. Notice if the left toes are spiraling outward. See if you can keep the toes forward. Use those exhalations to relax, maybe walking the hands up the leg a little bit, stretching the back of the leg, but just to your edge where you can remain relaxed. Deep breaths. And inhaling, slowly lowering that foot back down. Take a breath. Let it go. Maybe with a nice sigh. Again, coming to this moment if you've been drawn away. And lifting up the right foot, interlacing your fingers behind the right thigh. And again, inhaling, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And inhale, now straightening that leg as best you can. On the exhalations, gently drawing that thigh into the chest. Doesn't have to go anywhere. Again, it's very important to recognize your edge, and that's why we move slowly, we breathe deeply, stay fully present by feeling each breath, feeling each sensation in the body. Again, maybe walking the hands up the leg, maybe not. Notice if you're tensing somewhere else in the body, that left leg, you can press into the left foot a little bit to help. Keeping the shoulders relaxed and away. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly lower the right foot back down to the mat. Relax your arms by the sides. Take a breath. And release. And now again, keeping the right foot on the mat, we're going to bring the left ankle to the right thigh. Flexing that left ankle, gently press that left knee away a little bit. See how that feels. And this may be just the place for you to be in this pose. If you think you can go further, again, lift the right foot off the mat and interlace your fingers behind the right thigh. You want to reach your tailbone down and away. Gently press the left knee away from you as you draw the right thigh into the chest. Keep that left ankle flexed. Take those breaths, exhaling out tensions by relaxing where you might be tightening. You can also use your left elbow maybe to press that left thigh back a little bit. And you can also rock a little side to side if you're feeling some tightness. Any movement is welcome. You don't have to be static in a pose. Releasing those little tiny tensions that might arise and breathing into those. Soften the jaw, the eyes, giving your body time to open in the hips, which tend to be rather tight for us. On your next breath in, slowly lower the right foot down to the mat. Place the left foot back down. And let's cross the right ankle onto the left thigh, flexing that right ankle now. And again, pressing that right knee away a little bit. If you'd like to go further, lifting the left foot, interlacing fingers behind the left thigh. And on those exhalations, gently drawing the left thigh towards the chest. As you keep the shoulders away from the ear, maybe pressing into that right thigh to press it away from the body a little bit. And again, rocking side to side or moving it in any way to release some tightness that might be present in the hip. Relaxing the face, long, slow exhalations. And breathing right into that hip area where you might be feeling the tension and the tightness. Noticing perhaps any displaced tension, again in the face or the chest or shoulders. See where you can relax. On your next inhalation, slowly lower the left foot back down to the mat, release the right, and again, let's bring the knees into the chest. Maybe you can wrap your arms around, maybe interlacing the fingers or holding the wrists, or maybe the elbows if you can wrap that far around, or just have your hands on your knees. See if you can reach your tailbone away from you as you relax the shoulders down, back of the neck is long, and pressing the thighs gently into the chest, no force. On your next breath in, release, lower the feet, take a breath in. Exhale out any tensions. And then we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So make your way slowly onto your hands and knees, please. On your hands and knees with the shoulders above the wrists, spread out your fingers wide. The knees and feet are hip width apart, but also your hips are above your knees, so check this alignment. Draw the navel into the spine. Tops of the feet can be on the mat. We're going to take a breath in and let the tail lift a little bit. And exhale, tuck the tail in, feel the navel pulling in. Again, as you exhale, engaging those deep core muscles, picking up the pelvic floor. Inhale, let the tail lift, the belly comes down. This is a back bend here. And exhale once more, tucking that tail down and in, pulling up the pelvic floor as the belly comes way back into the spine. And now we can add the rest of the body in our cat and cow. Tail lifts, belly lowers, reaching the heart forward, lifting your gaze upwards. And exhale, dropping the tail, pulling the navel in, rounding the spine, dropping the head down. Inhaling, moving through the spine. Lift your gaze, strong arms. Exhale, tucking and rounding into our cat pose, rounding that back. Last inhalation, tail lifts, coming up. And exhale, coming to a neutral spine. Let's take a breath in here. As we exhale, lower down onto your forearms. Let's step one foot back and then the other, coming down onto the belly. Reaching back through the legs. Shoulders are over the elbows. Coming into Sphinx pose. So this is a back bend. And this might feel uncomfortable in your low back, maybe not. If you're feeling any compression in your low back, feel your navel coming forward as you press down into the palms, the forearms, and the elbows, and even to the tops of the feet. So you're pressing into the hands, forearms, and elbows to lift off the shoulders. And if this is still uncomfortable for your low back, you can walk your hands further forward. Otherwise, maintain this position with the elbows under the shoulders and breathe. So this is a very simple, accessible back bend. I like to practice modified back bends myself. These are great for strengthening the back. And take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to lower down. Cross your hands in front of you. Forehead can be on your arms or your hands, and take those breaths. Let go, relax here, letting go. Now please bring your arms alongside your body, lowering the forehead down to the mat. Palms are down. Preparing for Navasana boat pose. So that in boat pose, we're going to lift everything up. So what we want to do first is take a nice breath in and exhale, press the pubic bone down into the mat and feel that nice strong base, because that's where we're going to focus as we lift. So take that breath in, exhale, let the navel come in, engage the pelvic floor once more. On your next inhalation, we're going to lift everything up, the legs, the arms, the head, and we're reaching in opposite directions. On your exhalation, just go ahead and lower down. Relax. And again, inhale, lift. And exhale down. Next one is we're lifting, inhale, coming up. You have the option to come back down or hold. We'll hold for 2 deep breaths, again coming down when you need to. Reach back through the toes, out through the fingers, and out through the crown of the head. 1 more deep breath in. And on your next exhalation, slowly release down. Bring your arms out front once more. Relax your forehead on your hands and let go. And inhaling once more, coming onto our forearms as we did in Sphinx pose. And from here, we're going to curl the toes under. We're going to come into a modified plank. So first, spread your fingers, press into the hands, forearms, and elbows so that the shoulders aren't sinking down or lifted. Pull the navel forward. On your next inhalation, lifting up now. So we're pressing back through the heels. We're pressing down into the hands, forearms, and elbows. Nice plank. So the body is straight. We're pressing back through the heels, forward through the crown of the head. And now take another breath in. Exhale, lower the knees. And just walk your hands back towards your knees. And come back onto your heels in child's pose. And on your next breath, please come up to tabletop pose. Knees and feet hip width apart. And let's take a nice breath in. Draw the navel in as we exhale. Pelvic floor lifted. Take another breath in. And exhale, we're going to turn to look over the right shoulder. Let's get a little stretch in the left side. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, looking over the left shoulder. I feel a nice stretch to the right side now. Let's do that once more. Inhaling, center. Exhaling, looking right. Inhale to center. And exhale, looking left. Inhale, coming right back to center. Preparing for downward dog. Remember, you can always come into puppy pose if you prefer. And that's where we shift the hips back part way to the middle of the calf, walking the hands forward and lengthen from tail through crown. If you'd like to come into downward dog, walk your hands just one hand length forward and widen the hands a little bit so the pinkies are fairly close to the outsides of the mat. Spread the fingers really wide, press into all fingers. Curl the toes under, let the knees lift off the mat and shift your hips back. I really like to keep the knees bent. Most people like to keep the knees somewhat bent, but beginning the pose, we first keep them bent and lengthen through the arms. Don't lose that contact with all parts of your hands. And then you can begin to straighten your legs, keeping the shoulders back, 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 back. Maybe bending one knee and then the other. Just get some nice movement here. Pressing one heel down and then the other, maybe rotating the hips a little bit. What feels good in your body this morning? Good. Keep those breaths deep and steady. Good. And then let's walk our feet up towards our hands. We're going to come into ragdoll. Upper body just hanging over. Nice breaths, very simple inversion. And bringing our hands to our shins, we're going to inhale, come up halfway. Nice straight spine. And exhale, lower back down. Dropping the head fully. And bringing your hands to your thighs, inhale and slowly come up to standing. Close your eyes, drop in. Relax, feel, and be. Good. So it might feel good to roll the shoulders a little bit. So loosen up. So we're going to prepare for warrior pose. So come to the front of your mat. Feet are hip width apart with your hands on your hips. Press down into all four corners of your feet. And from there, as you press, lengthen upwards through the spine, through the crown, and unlock the knees. Bring the chin back so the ears are over the shoulders. Roll the shoulders slightly back and down. Keep the upper buttocks coming down, the tail in, as we lift the backs of the thighs. Bellies in, and we stand nice and tall. Let's take a nice breath in, shift our weight into the left foot, and take a nice step back with the right foot. And I think we'll actually come to warrior two. So let's plant that foot down, turning the toes out a little bit, and turning the torso to face front. That right heel would intersect the left arch. So we have a tendency to be turned to the front, so we want to turn the torso to the front. The other tendency is if we're a little tight, that right knee wants to fall in. So we want to press it back, that knee towards the pinky toe. Sometimes the buttocks wants to come up if we're a little tight. So drop the upper buttocks down and in, bellies in. We're going to reach the arms out to the sides. relax. And if it feels good on your neck, take that gaze over that left shoulder, over towards the fingers. Keep that left knee pressing back, spiraling those inner thighs up towards the sky. Upper buttocks are down, tail in, breathe. Notice if your shoulders are tense, roll them back and down. Lower body is strong and firm, upper body is open. Good, take a nice breath in. And exhale, lower that right hand down to your thigh. Reach the left arm up, coming into exalted warrior. So you can stay right here. This might feel really nice for you. If you'd like to make it a little bit more of a back bend, we can let that right hand slide down the leg and bring that left arm up and over. Go slow. Notice if that right knee's collapsing in. Keep it pressing back. And breathe, not forcing. Can you breathe deeply here? That's how to test for your edge. Good. Take another breath in, coming back up to warrior two. Coming into warrior angle, we're going to place the right forearm on the right thigh. Pressing again that knee back and bringing the left arm up if that feels good. And maybe alongside the ear, you can always rotate that arm forward and up if that feels better. And now to make it a little bit more of a back bend, we're going to imagine a wall behind us. So bringing that right hip back, the right shoulder back, and the head back. And pressing into both feet. Let that front foot relax, but we're strong in our feet. And we're reaching the fingers away from that right foot. Good. Deep breaths. Inhale, slowly come back up to warrior two. And then place your hands on your hips. Let's step back up to the front of the mat. Close your eyes, relax. Receive the pose, mind melting into the body, and just be fully present with just this experience. Good. And opening the eyes once again, coming to the front of your mat. I'm coming to the other side so you can see me. Again, the hands on the hips. Standing tall in our mountain pose. Feet are hip width apart, so check that. Taking a nice breath in, shifting the weight to the right foot, and stepping straight back with the left. Turning that foot out a little bit and coming up. Keeping that right knee bent. Upper buttocks are down, belly's in. Press that right knee back. Notice if it wants to keep coming in. And know that you can shorten your stance if that knee does not want to stay back. Torso's vertical. Inhale the arms out to the sides. Palms are down, relax the shoulders, smile a little bit. And if it feels right, send your gaze over the right shoulder. So again, it's firm in those feet, but relaxing that right foot, not letting it tense up. Feel the inner thighs spiraling up a little bit, keeping the legs strong. Good. And then lowering the left hand to the left thigh, reach the right arm all the way up. And once more staying here, or making it more of a back bend, coming up and over to the left. Just let the left hand relax and slide down the thigh. Keep the right knee pressing back, directly above the ankle, not forward or behind it. Deepen the breaths. Ujjayi Durga Pranayama at the edge. Good. Inhale all the way back up, warrior two. And exhale, warrior angle, placing the right forearm on the thigh, pressing that leg back and bringing that left arm up and alongside the ear if that feels good. Remember, you can also rotate it forward and up if that feels better. And again, pressing that right arm into that right knee to keep it back and against the wall. Press your back against that imaginary wall. The left hip comes back. The left shoulder comes back. If it's not coming back, if you're forward, then come up as much as you need to keep that shoulder back. Good. Breathe deeply, softening at the edge, body, mind, and soul. Inhale, slowly come back up to warrior two. Exhale, straighten that right knee, lower the arms, turn the right toes in. Let's heel toe the feet together. And soften, relax. Might feel good again to roll the shoulders. And I'm going to sneak in a little balancer. Dancing Shiva, Nataraj Asana. So in the full expression of this pose, there's actually a back bend, but we're not going to be going to the full expression. So what you want to do is bring your feet together. Toes, big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Spread out your toes. We want to find that mountain pose here so we're really strong. Strong in our feet as we press down in all four corners, as we lengthen up, straight up through the spine. Nice broad chest, reaching the fingertips down. We're going to shift our weight into the left foot. I'm mirroring you here. And bringing the left arm up alongside the body. So feel that left foot down into the mat, and that's the left fingers lengthen up and away. We're going to bend the right knee. Keep the knees together. Turn the right palm out so the thumb is pointing back. This may be your expression of the pose today, which is fine. If you think you can balance and go further, you can lift those toes off the floor. Knees staying together. Notice if your tail is lifting, keep it down and in. Press into that foot on the mat and lengthen. If you want to go further, you can bend that knee a little bit more. Maybe taking that foot into the hand, but that's not necessary. Be where it feels good for you. Reach in opposite directions, be tall. Send your gaze to one point. Breathe, one more. And exhale, lower the right foot, lower the left arm. And take that breath. And let everything dissolve just into the sensations that you feel. Arriving again and again into the now, the very present moment. Just this experience, nothing else. And opening the eyes when you're ready. Ready for the other side. Once again, feet are together. Spread the toes. Find a nice, strong mountain pose. The feet are strong and rooted to the earth as we lengthen up through the spine and crown. Shifting our weight now into the right foot, the right leg. Bringing the right arm up alongside the ear. Feel that pressure into the right foot as we extend through the right fingers in opposite directions. Turning the left hand out, thumb pointing away from you, bending the left knee, knees are together. Toes can be on the floor behind you. Notice again if the tail's lifting, pull it down and in. Press down to lengthen. Find that spot to gaze at. Establish the breath, smooth, relax, and steady. Lifting the foot off the mat a little bit and maybe just experimenting there. Maybe all the way. And now smile. Notice how that changes the pose. We're reaching in opposite directions with the fingers as that right foot is firm. One more breath. And exhale, release the left foot, the right arm. Close your eyes for just a moment now. Let everything go. Forget about balancing and just experience the bliss of this moment, the release, the energy that's just flooding through your body. And opening your eyes. Just take a nice breath in with the hands on the hips and exhale, bend the knees. And lower the hands down to the mat. Drop your head down. Bring your hands to your shins, coming up halfway. And exhale once more, all the way down. If you're in the middle of your mat, just step forward towards the front. Place your hands on the mat and step one foot back and then the other. Lower the knees and sit back in child's pose. Again, just giving yourself this time to settle, to relax, and just be here. On your next breath, slowly come up to tabletop pose. I'm going to turn in this direction so you can see what I'm doing. So what we're going to do is step the right foot forward. I'll mirror you, so I'm going to bring my other foot forward. So bringing the right foot forward, and this is where you might want blocks. So grab your blocks. And remember, there are 3 heights. You can find what height works for you. And make sure that right knee is over the ankle. And we're going to just kind of come up and down a little bit. Up and down. Good. Just finding the edge here. Feeling the stretch. Good. Keep breathing. Good. And take a nice breath in. And exhale, this time hinging back. Letting the toes lift. And inhale forward. Going back to the lunge. And exhale, hinging back. You can adjust the blocks, make them a little higher. Whatever feels right. Good. And then holding in this stretch, feel as though your right heel is pulling into your right hip socket, pressing through the big toe mound, and breathing. Walking those blocks wherever it feels right. You might need to be higher, like this, that's fine. That's where the blocks are really helpful. And then inhale, slowly lower that right foot down. Come back forward. Or let the pelvis relax and sink down. Again, keeping that right knee over the ankle. Good, and next what we're going to do is bring our hands to the inside of that right foot and walk that right foot over to the right. Let the toes turn out. They're probably going to be off the mat, and that's fine. Bring the blocks so that they're underneath your shoulders. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Good, take a nice breath here. And as we exhale, you're probably feeling a good stretch here. Taking another breath, and as you exhale, we're going to bend that right knee behind us. The left knee, excuse me. Inhale, lower, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Good, so I'm coming back here. So just do that one more time. Good, and lower it down. So next we're going to keep our left hand on the block. We're going to inhale, bring the right arm forward and up, and keep your gaze on that hand if it feels right on your neck, looking back behind you. Inhale, come up, and exhale down. Inhale, reach up and back, and exhale. Inhale, up, and exhale. One more time. Inhale up, and exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. So now we're going to combine both, and you don't have to touch your foot with your hand. So here we go. Inhale, bringing the right arm up, bending that left knee and gazing back towards your toes. Remember, they don't have to touch. Inhale up. Exhale down. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, come back. Good, and let's bring that right foot back in, bring that hand back to the outside of the foot. And we're gonna take another breath in and exhale. Once more, shift the hips back. Move the blocks wherever you need. Change the height if you need to. Again, draw that right heel into your hip socket. Press through the base of the big toe and relax. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring that right foot back. And let's sit right back in child's pose. Let your body recover from that movement. Allow yourself to be drawn right into the present moment. How's the quality of your breath? What do you feel in your body? What has shifted? Does your left side feel different from your right side? On your next breath, please slowly come back up to tabletop. And we'll take that on the other side. So this time stepping forward with the left foot. Left knee is aligned on top of the ankle. Take a breath in. And we're going to just relax down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Once more, inhale and exhale. This time inhaling up and exhaling, letting the left toes lift, shifting back. Walk the blocks back with you if you need to. Again, drawing that left heel now into the hip socket and pressing through the big toe mound, toes towards the ceiling. Deep breaths as you hold. Letting go with the exhaling breath. Using your pelvic floor muscles, feel them pulling up as the navel pulls in. And inhale, coming back up to our lunge. And exhale, letting the hips settle down. Walking that foot forward if the knee is coming forward of the ankle. Keep the shoulders back and down. Good. And now walking that left foot out to the left, bringing the hands to the inside of that foot, toes out to the side. Good. Take a nice breath in and exhale, now bending that right knee. Inhale, release. Exhale, bend. Might not come very far, that's okay. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release it down, keeping the right hand on the block. Inhale the left arm forward and up and back, gazing at your fingers. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale back. So it's a back bend with a little twist here. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Now we'll combine the both. Inhaling, reaching the left arm forward, bending that right knee, gazing towards your right toes. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And come back. Walking the foot back to the center. One more breath and exhale, shifting the hips back once more, letting the left toes peel off. Pulling the heel in, pressing through the big toe mound. Deep breaths. Inhale, slowly release. Exhale, bring that left foot back. And again, go ahead and sit back in your child's pose, fully recovering. On your next inhalation, please rise once again at tabletop. And we're going to come right down onto our backs. Have your blocks handy. Let your knees bend, feet wide, and let the knees just fall in. Experience the body adjusting to the floor on your back. Let all the muscles relax over the bones as the bones become heavy into the floor. And then walk the feet a little closer together. Bring the feet touching. We're going to lift our hips and shift them over to the right a little bit. And have your block handy in your left hand. We're going to lift the feet off the mat. Keep the arms out to the sides. Take a breath in. And exhale, let the knees come over to the left. So the right hip comes on top of the left. And this is where the block comes in handy. You might stop here and place a block right at your hip. Or maybe you can come down further. So use that block to support you. Let the feet relax down. And relax and breathe, keeping your right shoulder on the mat, maybe looking to the right if it's okay on your neck. Maybe reaching the right arm up, but only what feels right for you. Deep breaths. Full breath. Slowly bring the knees back up. Lower the feet to the mat. Bring your hips back to center. And maybe make a couple circles with the knees. Maybe coming out and in. Or whatever feels right. Go the other direction. And again, lowering your feet down to the mat. Feet touching, arms out to the sides. Lift your hips, shift them over to the left. Lower them back down. Again, take your block now into your right hand. Lift the feet off the mat. Keep the knees glued together as we take a breath in. And exhale, now coming over to the right. Place that block where you need to for support. You can let the feet relax down. Trying to stack the hips on top of each other. And maybe looking over the left shoulder. Left shoulder remains on the mat. Nice full breath. Slowly rise back up. Feet on the mat. Center your hips. Another breath in, maybe tucking the knees. And now we're going to come to a very simple back bend. So take a hold of your block. And we're going to lift up the hips and place that block under your low back. And it might be that this is very uncomfortable for you, in which case either get something lower or don't use anything at all. So find what feels right. We don't want to strain. Roll the shoulders back and down. Keep the chin tucked. Let your arms fall to the sides. And take a nice breath in and slowly straighten the right leg. See how that feels. So this is a subtle back bend. And just let that, your whole body relax here for a couple of breaths. Again, if this is too much, then bring something smaller under your back, or please don't do this. And then bending the right knee, placing the foot onto the mat and straightening out the left leg. And coming back, bringing the left foot back on the mat. We can keep the block where it is, coming into a gentle inversion, picking up the left foot and then the right, and extending both legs up towards the sky. Let the arms come out to wherever it feels comfortable. And breathe. And you can just stay here with the legs up, or maybe you can move, bringing the feet apart or rotating the ankles. If you like, you can bring your arms up overhead as well and rotate the wrists. All the while taking those deep breaths. If you're rotating, rotate in both directions. It's a nice inversion. Forward folds are nice inversions. Downward dog is an inversion. But these are nice and gentle, really nice to have in our bodies, reversing blood flow, nourishing the organs. So relax your legs up, relax your arms by your sides. Take a nice breath in. And exhale, bend the knees into the chest, lower one foot, then the other. And go ahead and lift your hips. Remove that block from underneath you. And now prepare for Shavasana. Let's extend the legs out. Find anything you need to be comfortable. You might want something under your head. You might want something under your knees. You might want a blanket to put over you. Otherwise, find that position that feels just right. Let the feet be nice and wide apart, the arms away from the body. I like to tuck the chin a little bit to lengthen the back of the neck on the floor. Shoulders I like to bring underneath. Relaxing the whole body now with every exhaling breath. Again, releasing all doing, all thinking. Settling into just feeling and being with this experience, with emptiness, dissolving into our true nature, the seer, the knower of all our experiences. Scanning your body, softening the muscles in the face, through the neck, through the shoulders, down through the arms and fingers. Spine, the hips and pelvis, the thighs, calves, the feet and toes. Observing the breath. As you relax, your breath naturally lengthens and slows down. Becomes more shallow. And just let go. Coming back, feel the expansiveness within you. And feel the expansiveness all around you. Take a deeper breath. Add some movement to your body, the fingers, toes, maybe the ankles and the wrists. Maybe a nice full body stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, reaching the toes in the opposite direction. And then bending one knee and then the other, and bringing the knees into the chest. And slowly coming to one side, fetal pose. Let your head rest on one arm. Just curl up in your center. And then pressing your hand into the floor, slowly come back up. Keeping your eyes closed, come back to a comfortable seated position. And take a moment as you sit tall and breathe in a relaxed manner to lift the corners of your mouth into a gentle smile. The quote that has been guiding me through this past week is by Thich Nhat Hanh, and he says, "Smile at your difficulties." And I have come across some pretty big difficulties recently, but when I've done that, it's created a major shift. That physical act of smiling changes the system in the body. Let's bring the hands to the heart. And please join me once again to chant Om. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. And again, take a deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace to you and all beings. Slowly opening the eyes. Jai Bhagwan, victory to your divinity. Thank you.